Oh no, it's Nintendo. They'll come out. Outside your door.
Holy.
Oh god.
It's
Yeah, I came back
We
and
are
Prophet sounds
live.
like a fucking
Yeah, he's
robot.
live.
at the main store. Part of the main.
Oh. Oh,
Let's
gotcha.
get
Yeah,
in.
I actually went to get ramen, so that's. I think I think if I went to go get Wawa, I would have been back a lot faster. Spicy miso ramen. Gonna slap. Ugh. Yeah, I'm excited for when you get to read it. Whenever that will happen.
Oh, yeah.
Luckily, that one's literally just a story. There's no choices. Literally just reading.
Just gifted him a book, essentially.
Yeah, how could you?
You know, it's funny. I think
Damn.
I think it was at one point Ash was telling me there was a question. It's like if you had to play one game with your eyes closed and beat it for like a bunch of money, what game would you pick? And I was like, Witch of the Holy Night, because there's no choices. I just hit the A button nonstop, and I eventually just win. Technically
You
classified as a game.
say
See, the thing
how
is, Witch of
far
the
do you
Holy Night, Witch of the Holy Night has no choices, so you just hit the A button.
Well, there are bad endings in Fate, so yes.
I know. I'm saying how far do you? I'm trying to think out like decision that top choice.
Probably the Kirei when you meet Kirei.
Wheeler.
Oh my god.
Listen, we're how old is fucking Fate? God damn it!
I mean, we didn't get the localization of it for a whole while, so
Okay, I'll take it back. It's my bad then.
I mean, Kirei's in like every route, so that's not in every single route.
Curays. Hey.
Oh my god, that's so spoiler.
Isn't that Deanstay Night?
All ogre now.
Unfortunately,
That's better than One Punch Man, though. To be honest.
One punch.
the enemy.
Dude, my stiffy was harder than fucking spring. That was crazy.
Oh, looks like it's almost that time.
Yeah, it's almost that time. You ready to go out? Yeah.
Ready to hop up soon?
JK chat. Not
Lying.
time yet.
Ooh, that's all so good.
Listen, if they watched and know my stream, they'd be fine. That's just the weakest shit I've said so far.
My first time trying a fish cake.
Grab the
Good luck.
shrubs only.
That's right.
That's where he's
It's
worried.
not
about
graphic. It's just very, very descriptive.
You're gonna hear a word.
That's right. It's a
Oh
shame that we can't
boy.
time our exit, because I would have said something and you would have exited, and it was perfect timing. That's true. You'll be kind of real right now.
Oh man, that's the problem. Authenticity is frowned upon nowadays.
Yeah, we
I'll
just
hear you.
gotta. Yeah, now we just gotta start
I mean-
shocking dogs and be like, I didn't shock the dog, but you know, everybody and their mom shocked a dog, but dog didn't exist. God. True. Man. The dog
look.
is Photoshop, but not the collar. Right,
Well,
right.
we're at the point of the narcissist and everything on it because
Excuse me, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. He? It's not he, it's it. Okay? I don't know what you're talking about. Have a
Yeah.
good one. Bye.
では前に出ます
It was going in a direction. Hello, chat. Sorry for running a little bit behind. I've also only eaten like maybe like a third of my dinner. But I'll be fine. Impromptu mukbang, I guess. So, actually, yeah, let me go heat it up a little bit more. I'll be right back, chat. Give me like 2 minutes. And then we will actually get started. I realized I need to eat because I haven't eaten very much at all the last like 2 days. And I'm kind of like, I'm doing good. I'm losing weight, but I'm like, holy cow. Like, I actually need the protein because I worked out before stream. Okay. Alright, chat. I got my food. Alright. Did that still not sync up? No, it didn't. Okay. Alright, I did get the tweet out, chat. Do me the favor, go give it some love. Yeah, and we are ready to rumble. Hello, everybody. How's it going? sorry for again being late. I'm gonna try to work on that so I'm not so late. Got some seasoned salt to kind of put on my chicken here because it kind of needs it. I think this piece was a little undercooked and I just zapped it again, which should overcook it. Give it a little bit more flavor. You look rested? I don't know about rested. If anything, I'm probably the polar opposite right now. How was the holy girlfriend front, Can? Yeah. I guess I should explain some. Obviously, I'm not going to go too deep into this chat for reasons, but you know, things. I thought things were going really well with the girlfriend, and I think they are. Just that, like, we are both older. Like, we're not like college kids or anything anymore, and so it's one of those things where like stuff starts getting serious really fast, and that gets scary. Okay, for me, for her, for everybody involved. There were some concerns, and they needed to be addressed. And so that was why, like, I did not end up going out on Wednesday as I was supposed to. I ended up just kind of talking with her. Like, I wasn't sure really what was going to happen from that. And we've kind of worked through it, talked about it, kind of addressed it. There's still... I think there's still some concerns on both sides in that regard. But I think we both really like each other, and we are both committed to giving the relationship a chance. So that is exactly where I stand right now. I went out with her yesterday. She took me to K-Pot for my delayed birthday date. If you don't know what K-Pot is like it's like a chain of like Korean hot pot / Korean barbecue style restaurants. And it was good. It was definitely fun. I had a great time with her. So, and if anything, I thought we made real good, tangible progress on like some of the issues. So, yeah, it was fun. But I'm sorry for canceling on you guys yesterday. That is not a regular thing. Don't assume that that's something that I will do all the time and that, like, oh, I'm just going to start, like, canceling on you guys left and right. That's not something I'm anticipating. But I have told you guys, I do feel like there's maybe some changes coming to stream, and we'll see what the future holds in that regard. I just want to be as transparent as possible without disclosing things that don't need to be disclosed, or kind of saying too much in that regard. How's your date with IRL Arteria? The date was good. It is what it is. It is. Yeah. So, yeah, all I can try to do is I can try to do the best for her. I can try to do the best for you guys. I can try to keep putting my best foot forward. So, what I'm aiming to do. And I was actually talking to her a little bit before stream. That's one of the reasons why I'm a little bit delayed here. I only have myself to blame. I kind of lost track of the time. But definitely a thing. I have started the event. I have progressed a little bit more. But there is naturally some issues there. I'm also on the Grailfront, or sorry, the Grand Duel on JP. So I figure let's go do the Grand Duel on JP because I have been subsisting on JP. I have not like I've kept my AP down. I haven't wasted anything. But I have not that's what I'm looking for here. I haven't actually caught up to the last node of the Grand Duel on JP. So we will try to progress. Sorry, I'm just getting all this out of my mailbox here. JP is very Dokuda right now. Yes. I guess I got to give you guys today's artwork as well. Here is the link. Restaurant called K-Stop. Interesting. Korean street food, the unhealthiest kind. Understandable. They have cardboard cutouts of K-pop stars, life size for decoration. That's funny. She would probably like that. She is very much a foodie in that regard. And there you guys go. Happy thank God it's Friday. Thank God it is Friday. I am 100% on that. Okay, so let's continue on. So you guys can see, like, this is where I'm at. I guess they're still... yeah, okay. I was only one off of the max one. I don't know if I have a good comp to actually do the final note. I've kind of just been bullshitting it and taking people's, like, 120 commas. Like, Alba, low-key, saving my bacon here. This has been my composition so far. And I was going to turn on the, like, storm pods and everything. Well, not storm pods, but the teapots when I got to the final rung. Infinite combo works, yeah. Have plans this weekend? Saturday I am going to watch I'm gonna go watch Spirited Away with her, because there's like a Fathom event where they're bringing the Studio Ghibli movies back into theaters. So we're gonna go watch Spirited Away, and I believe we're going out to eat afterwards. But that's at least, like, that's for Saturday. So chat, there will be no stream Saturday, but Sunday I will stream again. Because again, I know I've canceled on you guys. I'm shifting the days around, so all I can do is apologize and try to get you guys the stream time that hopefully you enjoy. The King Hassan face reveal? I don't believe this is King Hassan, though I have seen people meme it. I like that it's become a oh my god, this is King Hassan, or this is King Hassan Lily, or something like that. It's like, it's funny, but it's not, as far as I can tell. Do it like that, but I don't think it's going to matter. Life is life. Do what you got to do. Thank you. I appreciate it when you guys are understanding. I know, like, it's not always easy, and I know it's making me inconsistent, and I know how much consistency matters for streaming, but I do believe this consistency issue is a, like, temporary thing, not me dating someone being a temporary thing. God, I hope not in this case. But in the sense that I don't like, what happened this week was unique, and I don't anticipate that to necessarily be a, like, all the time thing. Has the same traits as King Hassan? Well, of course it is. It's Azrael. He literally references Azrael. It's like the angel of death from Islamic lore, as far as I understand it. Like, King Hassan's noble phantasm invokes Azrael. Also, wait, how did that kill both MHX? And what? Okay. King Hassan Lily was obviously going to be a grand ass. I mean, I'll say this. For their choice here, chat, I actually do think that this is a much cooler an interesting alternative to them just like forcing somebody else into it. I feel like this is lore. I feel like this is like just interesting as a pick overall. And it also fits right in with the fact that King Hassan was the person that was like stated to be the Assassin Grand. Oh, but now he can't. So it's implying that like almost like the Grand invokes Azrael or something like that. Do it like that. New Halloween is coming finally? Yes. So the JP News chat is we have a Halloween event announced, which is definitely nice. And it is basically here October 22nd. So that's good. I'm glad to hear that we're finally going to have like an event on both servers and we're going to get kind of back to normal and out of this like doldrum phase that we've been in. Obviously, we have the NA event right now. That'll cool off. And with the JP event upcoming, eventually it'll cool off. So there will still be like another like dead period later on, like probably, I'd say like maybe like halfway through November or something like that. But we'll still continue to have the Grand Duels. We'll still be fine overall. So I'm less worried about it. I feel like as we get towards the end of the year here, we're just going to have like more of a jam-packed schedule rather than less. I think the doldrums that we just went through were the worst that we have had all year. Honestly, it's the worst ones we've had in a while. It just is what it is. So I'm hopeful that people at least recognize that and we have people kind of coming back and more interested on the like latter couple months here of the year. You guys can see there is a whole lot of Lizzes, which it makes perfect sense given the fact that it is an actual Halloween event. All of the Lizzes are old Halloween units, so of course they're going to be like relevant in that regard. But there is a big idea, especially with the motif going on here, that it's going to be like Liz Japan or something like that. And I could easily see it. So we'll see. Maybe we get Liz Japan. Maybe we get somebody else completely unrelated. I don't know. But that is my current prevailing theory. And we'll just kind of have to see how this stuff goes. Yeah, you can see they will basically just increase their attack power and bond points. You don't have to worry about the bonus servants in terms of like, oh my god, is this going to be like a currency related thing? It's going pretty good, JC. How are you doing? I'm going to see batch of animation updates here. That'd be cool. I feel like there's a couple of Halloween related units that could get it. Why does King Hassan look like a Dark Souls boss? Just so we're clear, I don't think you're talking about this. You're probably talking about actual King Hassan. Yes, actual King Hassan does look like a Dark Souls boss. Okay, chat. What is my go-to, like, one-shot clear strategy here, if it's even possible? Because that last one was kind of ass, not gonna lie. Pray and hope? That's not what I want to hear. Clan, Sathino, and DPS. Wait. Why? Now, forgive me, I'm only, like, tacitly aware of the whole, like, death proc mechanic, hence there being guts being a solution. But why Sathino? Sathino gives a lot of gut buffs and gets rid of the guts. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that I didn't know. Again, and forgive me on this chat. I am actually out of the loop. That is how absorbed my life has been. So I'm getting back in here. So in a little bit, chat, you guys actually know a little bit more than me. Okay. Wait, why are we saying Koyan then? Just for the charge? Yeah, literally, Tez has guts. So he actually can take it. Because, man, okay. Do I have Sathino on JP? I should. I do. Not exactly upgraded, but, you know. Ooh, yeah. If you got the grand score for the anti-death proc, then you get more attack from Azrael trying to kill you. So slotting in your DPS in slot 1 is beneficial. That sounds great. Is there a way I can tell? Because unfortunately, I have seen, like, this is one of the problems with this, is I don't know that there is a way that you can tell how leveled up someone's grand is when you take it on support. And I don't like that. Go to the grand score? Yeah, but I couldn't tell on theirs. Tonight is sushi night. Nice. Take the land that must be taken. Wait, hold on. What am I doing? No, I want it like that. Because really, my priority here is MHX. I don't actually care about anyone else's bond. It'll say 1262 or whatever. Wait, what? In the support list? Huh? On the right. Oh. You can click on it? Really? I never knew that. Okay, and I know you sent me the list, Avalon, but I have not gotten to actually read it over. So I need to make sure the death immune state is in play. Which I don't see. Granted, I also don't see the clock icons here, so... Is that like... this one? No, that's the if an attack fails to crit. This one doesn't have them all, it seems. Oh my god, Alba, no. He's my best. I'll do it like this. This is death immunity symbol. That's what I was looking for, because I was like, hold on, I'm just not seeing it. And I was like, well, maybe it just doesn't display as that in game, but no, it does. He just doesn't have it. Sorry, almost clicked on it. Gonna go with that. Just because I have no idea how much damage it's gonna do. I don't have the grand score yet. Again, this is my first like attempt at the full strength. That's good damage. Okay. I can at least like live with that. Does he get any benefit if he death procs people? Okay, there you go. I didn't even have to NP again. Yeah, 300k is like, that's not that far if you have 2 grand still. Thank you for the free apple there, Phantom. What up, I? If you're immune to death, any death procs, it's an attack up. Oh, no, I know. I just, that particular comma did not have it for whatever reason. And my unit is literally just getting started. So. Hence why I was asking chat for the explanations, because again, I really have not like done this much yet. Let's go actually look and see, can I do anything with mine? Is it the top button? No, that's the bottom button. I also need to get her to bottom 10, which she could if I grind this enough. So there it is. Is there any other one that I need for that? Yeah, the flame one? Okay. The left one on the quick part is good too. That's what I was just reading, was this one. Okay, so we'll grab quick to begin with anyways. I'd have to be an idiot not to, right? And then we will go grab that. Immediately get myself some charge. But I don't think I have enough. Yep. So that's going to be my first thing, is to grab that. That means these next couple of runs on this gonna low-key be ass. But that has bought me enough time to go back to NA, which is about to cap out. Crap. I need to actually look at what the rewards for this are. Wait, who just subbed? VHSGZ, thank you for the sub. Appreciate it. I guess Steve is at a football game, because you just told me you watched some kid just get laid the fuck out. Okay, here was the list of them. But how are you doing today, Jeezy? This is the first day-night one, I believe. So, seeds, stingers, yarn, and bullets. Seed, stingers, yarn, and bullets. Well, that answers that one. Nighttime it is. And you can see it's telling you, hey, you're going to have slightly different content in the Grailfront. But again, you can pick based off the materials that are available. Or the main node rewards, yep. Oh, you can do both for chess. Really? I didn't think you could, but okay. It's better this way. I have found the event interesting so far. I hope chat has. Ptolemy is at least like a very interesting character to me. Meanwhile, like, I could give a rat's ass about Taigong Wang being here. Not that I dislike him. I feel like he's a really weird fit for this. Yeah, the tapir is nice. I'm looking forward to getting Sugitani. Sugitani's nice. It's nice to get the 3 stars like fleshed out a little bit more. Oh, are we gonna get the first tease here? No way. Is that El Gigante? So you guys haven't got to see me do the first 2 Grailfronts. They were admittedly quite easy. Like I said, most of you guys, you really shouldn't struggle with any of the, like, any of the ones other than, like, the final one, maybe. He's very jovial, yes. Hey, CZ, how's it going, bud? Have you been? It was rough. Oh no. Has everybody been enjoying Battlefield 6? Like I told you guys I wasn't going to get it on launch, which in retrospect was a good choice given the state of my life right now, but I have heard that they have made some decent changes. I also will say, like, I know this probably makes people like annoyed that it makes the Grailfront take longer, but I feel like adding story to the Grailfront actually helps them make them feel like real content. Like I saw a lot of people memeing that this is just Fire Emblem Three Houses, and I'm like, that's a good thing. Like, I think that's what a lot of us always wanted, was to see Grailfronts actually like fleshed out a little bit more. Okay, so what do we got? I have only 48 cost. I can put in an all slot, a lancer, and an assassin, which is low key. Putting in the assassin kind of dickish given the fact that you start right next to a caster. Same deal. You have a lancer, but there is a saber nearby. Actually, technically 2, but like one of them is going to get headed off at the pass by Sugitani. And a little bit, you have to try not to kill everything until you've gathered all the stuff. So, when in doubt, Bunny comes out. I will probably give her Invuln Pierce, but it probably will not matter. Actually, hold on. Do I have... I have at least one burn equipped, so where is the lake that is hunnified? There it is. And an assassin. I guess I won't do Honey Lake. I will say that's my only complaint about Grailfronts, is that the party cost is so low. I understand wanting to restrict it. I think that's fine. But I feel like they keep it a little bit too low for, like, I don't know. I almost wish they would maybe like make two separate allotments, like make a unit allotment for cost and make a CE allotment for cost. And then you just have to operate within those confines. Rather than like, oh, everything has cost. Though I do get that like some people would find that more restrictive. I think the idea would be that like, hey, this frees you up a little bit and allows you to like have an actual loadout rather than like, hey, I'm just taking everybody at like max rarity but with no CEs. It's absolutely possible to do that. Some units can sweep whole maps by themselves. Why is that a problem? We can solo normal battles as well. I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility for FGO at least. That's a spicy one, but we're gonna do it. Gonna send Sugitani in. Gonna literally dodge her because she's probably going to get attacked here. Gonna pop her stuff. I don't remember. I think this is just her debuff cleanse. It's also crit star, so we'll go ahead and use it too. And let's see. Mighty Chain is probably best because it can't go triple buster. And more than anything, I'm kind of hoping for a lucky crit, but it's not going to matter. We do enough damage here because I started out with the maximum damage Mighty Chain, which is QAB. Either way, that still might have worked had I done it the opposite way around, like BAQ or like BQA. So I maybe could have done that in a way to get myself like more stars, but that takes out one of the enemies right there off the bat. I can reasonably anticipate her getting ganged up on, though, by these two. So that will be a thing. I'm going to leave Benoit there. Let's move Ptolemy out. And I am not going to be dumb because that's going to get a triple pincer. Okay. All three of these units will converge on her because it's just a smart move for the AI to do. So I will instead just back her right back off. And that will instead form a choke point where only one unit can attack me there. And this will spread AI attention likely along these routes. Is what I'm hoping for. Okay, that is my turn one. Let's go. Did you say this Grailfront was difficult? No. Shouldn't be. Just send it. I underestimated her damage. I should have gone the other way around. Last was annoying, though, but not hard. I think a lot of people will find it hard. Because, like, if you're somebody that doesn't take to this style of content, it's just going to feel difficult. I get the feeling I'm not even going to need the MP. Yeah, I'm not. Chat, did Cerberus just attack me? I couldn't tell. I put QSH on the NP gain point, and he easily tanked 3 battles. Oh, yeah. No, that QSH's entire issue is simply can he get back to another MP, or does somebody have a way through his like invuln? And as long as neither of those two are true. QSH just tanks everybody. My food is cold again, chat. I ate as much as I could. My appetite's way down now. Okay. So we got that one dead, which is good because that was a counter class one. I like how like everything is going for Bunny, which is the polar opposite of what it actually should do. Like it's like this is a losing strategy. I guess could have pre-carded, but oh well. Hey, what's up, John? How's it going? Draco's as broken as Herc in these Grailfronts. I mean, the only real issue is that Draco doesn't have a whole lot in the way of survivability, but who cares? Like, if she could just kill everything before it gets to her. Like, that's the beauty of a Grailfront, is one of the ways that you can have good defense is to simply play strategically. And it's to say, like, how you move around the map and how you position your characters is the best defense. So I still have to bust her up at least. There's a chance. Probably not. Like, I'm sitting there looking at the damage numbers. I'm like, yeah, she might do it. And then it's like, nope. Okay, so let's evaluate. So there are only 3 enemies left. The enemies, basically due to my formation, functionally suicided onto me, which is good. No, that's about all I could ask. And we're gonna move her laterally over there. Gonna move the master down that way. I don't think that'll happen. We're just going to do it like that. I'm not going to attack. I'm not going to let it get a tandem. The worst possible scenario is it goes after Ptolemy, and I don't think it'll matter because Ptolemy's just going to win. And we'll just let Bunny sit there. She's basically occupying the, like, pivotal node that the AI just hates that I'm on. Okay, this was kind of what I predicted, and this is actually probably the best outcome. do it like that because he does have the latent defense here, and I shouldn't have done it. Why do I keep doubting the strength of my 120 units? Actually needed a command seal restart once. Oh, really? Interesting. Sudden appearance of reinforcements. Yeah, ain't gonna happen. Okay, so with that in mind, boom, I grab that. Boom, I grab that. Grab that. Grab that. And now we have gotten everything that we need to from the map, and there is only one enemy remaining. And that's exactly what we're going to do. We are basically, well, I could get Laratoria in here on it, but it's probably just going to get her bar popped. So why get my wife damaged? I'm going to do that just to give myself some extra NP gain and such. And literally just pop the mighty chain here, hope for some extra NP gain on the back end, but she might just kill. That's the problem I'm going to have. And if she does, she does. There's not much I can do about it. Okay, good. She didn't. But the cards will. And that gets me plenty of NP gain to work with here, which does at least get his first bar down. Now, he probably will suicide onto me on the next turn here, but there's really no option that I currently have in that regard. Yep. Predictable. Like I said, a lot of how you play is you can play and anticipate the AI's movements. They said that they've worked a lot on the AI and Grailfronts, but the AI is still very, very predictable in terms of like what it goes after. A lot of the time, it's going to try to exploit class advantages in its favor. It is going to try to like find ways to functionally just get you at odds so you can play into that and almost play defensively for the first turn or two, usually. There are a couple exceptions with that. Certain Grailfronts will not allow you to. They will basically kind of bum rush you from all directions. And those are the ones you need to watch out for. But otherwise, that strategy just kind of works. And you can see this is usually how I end Grailfronts with Bunny. She basically takes very little actual damage, especially if I've kitted her out properly, which I really haven't. I'll be honest, those command codes on her were actually pathetically, hilariously easy. How's it going? Liz event incoming on JP. Pog, pog, pog. Yep. Well, I mean, it is a Halloween event. We assume it to be a Liz event, therefore, but we don't actually know, right? Like, we'll see, but it should be. Yeah, you will be able to use an extra on the final node, at least, which is good. So that frees you up. I believe there is a node for every class. The problem is there's only one extra node, so if you want to take multiple extra units, it's just not going to be a thing. Do you think we will finally get Liz Japan playable with New Halloween? That's my guess, but we'll just have to see. In a weird way, as awesome it would be to finally get her, if we didn't get Liz Japan here, that means that she's still out there as a possibility for the future. So. Because then everyone likes to think like, oh, NPC jail, these units are never happening, blah, blah, blah. But like, we've had plenty of units go into NPC jail over the years. We've had plenty of units come out. Yes, there's still units in it, but absolutely that's something that could still happen, even if it doesn't happen here. I'm pretty sure all the Liz servants are bonus every Halloween. Right. I say it almost looks like someone took a bite out of that. You. We may get a new archer for the archer grand. We might. It's certainly possible. Again, like you look, we got an NPC here, so like it is an interesting possibility. I will say I think people do kind of put a little bit too much stock into like who the grand is in that regard of each class. To me, I take the devs at their face value because they've said like, oh, we just want it to be someone interesting. And I will say most of the choices have been interesting. I feel like the only one that I really even have any flaw with is the Grand Lancer, because there were numerous really cool candidates they could have gone with, and they instead kind of ass-pulled one for a character that they just introduced right before the event. So that was the only one where I was like, eh. Nemo also. My only issue with Nemo, and I'm dead serious with this, is that Santa Nemo exists. Gonna sound unfair, chat, but you have original Nemo. You have Noah on arcade. You have Santa Nemo. And then you have Noah here. So forgive me, because if you're someone that really likes Nemo, you probably don't see any issue with this. I don't dislike Nemo. I think Nemo is actually a really interesting interpretation of the character. But I'll be honest, by the time we got here, I was like, bro, this is just kind of stupid. Like, it feels like it was mishandled. Why? Because this was interesting when it happened. Made a lot of people talk, and it made a lot of people go like, oh my god, is Noah going to be Grand Writer on FGO? It made a lot of people wonder about that. And then we got Santa Nemo. And frankly, the Santa Nemo event should have tapped somebody else at that point. Why? Because Santa Nemo is already a writer. Like, original Nemo's a writer. Santa Nemo is a AoE writer, and so it made Noah coming out being an arts AoE writer that also looks like Nemo kind of fucking boring. Not in the sense that Noah actually was boring, he wasn't, but if Santa Nemo didn't exist, Noah would have been a much cooler reveal. It would have been like, whoa, he's finally here. But unfortunately, because they did Santa Nemo before, there was like Nemo fatigue. And a lot of people were just like, I don't care, whatever. So I think that's the problem. That's where the fuck up is. The problem is not here. The problem is not here. The problem is right there. And that's what caused this to be like underwhelming for a lot of people. Yeah, I think the other problem there too is they got very stagnant and stale. It's like, oh, what class is it? It's a writer. What card type is it? It's arts. Okay. Okay. Like that's all you can do, right? It's like, oh, it's another. Okay. Same as it ever was, yeah. And in that regard, I think like again, if they hadn't done that, it would have been better. Though, admittedly, if they had also just made Santa Nemo something significantly different, it would have worked. Because the other problem is Santa Nemo is also another AoE arts writer. So it's like, why didn't you just make Santa Nemo like single target or a different card type or something so that you had some variety? But instead, it's like you just kind of ran out of ideas almost, and you just replicated the idea you already had. And I think that's why people were like, eh. Not that Nemo himself wasn't cool. Not that, like, that interpretation of the character wasn't interesting. Just that, like, it was expected. It was, unfortunately, super tame and redundant. And that was kind of the problem. Water is blue, so arts, yeah. What are the odds they forgot about Santa Nemo? Like I said, I was super underwhelmed when they revealed that Santa Nemo was the welfare for that Christmas event. It was one of those deals where we're like, oh my god, think of like all of the units that we could get for Christmas. Like, oh my god, there's some really great choices. I wonder which one they're gonna do. And they did Nemo, and Nemo was just kind of underwhelming. And now in retrospect, looking back, I'm actually more pissed that they did Nemo. It's like it reopened an old wound. Where, like, at the time, I was like, well, this sucks. I'm underwhelmed and unexcited for this to be our Santa unit. But I guess I can live with it. Now I'm, like, looking back and I'm like, why did you do that? You should have picked someone else. What the fuck? Aside from Summers, I think their unit choices designs in general need to be better from the latest releases. There's some that I feel like they really knock out of the park. Like, they're absolutely fantastic, and it proves like why this game became popular. And then there's others where I'm like, this is just pitifully tame. And like, you kind of just went with, it's like, let me use Ptolemy here as an example, right? You could have made Ptolemy look like a Greek general, okay? And to a degree, that is what his first form looks like, okay? And that, I'll be honest with you guys, I don't give a shit about Ptolemy's first form. I think it's uninteresting. Why? Because it's just the historical interpretation of Ptolemy. Whereas this form is interesting. This form is cool. So I like it. I think it's really awesome. Lurk Tax, thank you, Zach. And thank you for the resub. Appreciate it, my man. Hope you're having a good one. Ptolemy is the most bipolar caster lancer we have ever seen, right? But it's like, it's cool. I actually like this design. So I've seen them kind of do that at times. And I look at it, I look at the design, I'm just like, there's just nothing here. This is just boring. You were just kind of like maybe relying on the fame of the character, or like, again, like oh, surely people will just be interested in it because that's all Fate does, make interesting characters. And I feel like what originally sold people on this game was that each unit's design was really interesting. In a lot of cases, it was a sex appeal thing too. Not in every case, though. But it's like the general premise was that each design was unique and cool. Forgot my lurk tax earlier. Thank you. Thank you for reminding. Again, chat. Twitch hates lurkers now, so dude, do me a favor. Helps me out. If you guys are lurking, just type something in chat at one point during the stream so that Twitch does not consider you to be a bot and not count you towards the view total. And thank you guys. Afo, thank you for the sub. Appreciate it, my dude. Whoa, 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 whoa. Just a second, chat. Okay. Something, thank you. Who the hell? I was getting water? That's right. As always, Berserker slots are a gift. Yeah. I think the very first Grailfront, I just waltzed in with Castoria Berserker and just laughed as she obliterated everything. Oh, nice. Yeah, I feel like we get a lot of Grails from this event. Oh, thank God, a new node. The problem is I don't know what this node is. So the prior nodes that I have done, are they on night? The night cycle? Okay. There were 3 nodes here. The final node was gold and silver? That doesn't match up. Bronze and silver. So was the first one an all node? Yes. So then that would make this the true gold node. Yeah, I will also admit I don't think very many people rolled. Because I definitely do not see very many people with MLBs. Got a lot of MLBCs in my list, actually. Really? Sorry, it looks like 3 multis. No, it's not good. I noticed at least the first day when I was trying to like get stuff done, that there were very few people with CEs. And like I said, I have not exactly like been on the up and up on the stuff. I've managed to keep AP down, but like kind of just barely some of the times. I mean, I could take a bronze CE here, but you can see this is me on the mix. So I am filtering for MLBs, but no specific CE. And I'm on the mix. This is every MLB that is appearing, which just tells me there's not a whole lot of them. That is MLB Gold. So we will go with that. It'll work. I have a lot of friends with old managers. Is what it is. I just take non-MLBs. Yeah. The problem is because like right now, usually my stance is I don't care if I roll, but if I didn't roll, then I really want to take MLBs just for efficiency reasons. But admittedly, yeah, it's like there's a point where if you just can't find it, you just go with it. Okay, so I think we're gonna do that, and we're just gonna sack this turn here. Well, no, because I would need Johanna to get an NP off, and I'm not sure that would work here. Let's do that. Try to get Janu charged up to full here. Unfortunately, that just cost me an enemy, so now the NP gain here gonna be straight ass. Send it, see what happens. Let Johanna get close to an NP herself. I'm doing pretty good, Cal. How have you been? This is like the one Gina event where barely anyone rolled. Yeah, you'll see more in Guda Guda, I think, coming up here because people are going to roll for Wayski. But don't be surprised to see rolling be a little bit more sparse, both until next year and due to, again, the state of the game. I do think it's impacting them, and I do think the devs are like probably like not happy about that fact. I don't think they're like panicking or anything, but I think they're like, man, this is actually impacting our sales. We'll let Johanna take the wave here. If she can. They're definitely feeling it. Yeah, and I feel like they have no one really to blame but themselves. Like, the issue is that they're telegraphing unsuredness, and that is kind of a problem. Like, they should not do that, in my opinion. I got my Ptolemy copy and a bonus NP4 copy of Nightingale. Oh no. Why am I going to give a single money when I don't know what's going to happen in FGO in the next year? Yeah, and I think, honestly, it's like, I don't think that's an unreasonable take. Off topic, we've been switching from BTTV add-on to Franker Face currently because BTTV has the custom emote embed not working. So they fixed it on their GitHub, and now I'm wondering if I'll switch back later. The new one has so many customization options. Oh, interesting. I'll have to look into it. I haven't looked into the like channel emotes in a hot second, mostly because it's a really time-consuming thing, and they are kind of there for chat. I have asked over the years, like several people to like provide input on like what emotes they maybe thought would be good. And sometimes I have gotten feedback, other times I haven't. I've also asked people to like basically functionally run that side of things. And that has never worked out. So. Huh. Never seen that lady before. Huh. Lady shrouded in darkness. Yes, she has a whip. Mm-hmm. I hope it doesn't spark memories in him that she has a whip and is dressed like a circus instructor. Or conductor, not instructor. Damn. Anyone toot their own horn. Damn. I didn't realize he was Tutor Gong Wang. Wait. It's weird. I guess they could have made this into one of the like builder style events. Can't trust them, Fox girls, nodders. Yeah, but it's clear that Fox girls are his type. Ugh. When Lalter literally got my eyes are up here in one cutscene, yep. How's it going, Akakaze? What you up to today? Okay. Hello, Tom. How's it going? Never gonna how am I holding up? This has been a rough week. But I'm doing good. How are you, Gotcha? Sorry, Gurus. Moo. Sorry, my brain's a little, like, twisted up right now. It's split in, like, 3 different directions. Hey, what up, Biss? How you been? I think I'll change my name one day. What, like straight up to like Musaki? Or just Musaki? Yeah. Although if you change it to just Musaki, then I'll be like, hey, what up, Just? Not on purpose, mind you. I just have a bad habit of like reading the first half of chat's name. Because I am used to seeing the same people over and over again. So I like when there's someone new in chat, I like study the name a little bit more, but usually I just like get in that bad habit. But I don't think that'd be a bad idea if you wanted to change. I mean, everybody kind of like knows you guys as the Gotcha Gurus, but at the end of the day, everyone always refers to you as Moo, so... Ah, hello, Khalil. I'm the now? Yeah, what up, the underscore? Could always make it worse. I mean, I could still go with the first part of your actual name, Avalon. I could just go with... I could be like, hey, what's up, Ava? The Fang Shu. Call them the? Maybe. That's what Andre does. Oh no, Andre beat me to the punch. Abilities. Who'd you choose for Grand Assassin, by the way? I missed it. MHX or Okida? I picked MHX, but unfortunately, like, my MHX is not, like, fully ready. I knew Assassin was going to be the worst one for this account because I just got MHX on this account earlier this year. So I hadn't had a whole lot of time to actually work on her and get her up to par. And admittedly, she's already, like, Bond 8.5, so I'm hoping that I can kind of farm enough here to actually get her like to Bond 10 so that like the grand version that people would use will at least be better, even if it's not the one that they go with. Could have also gone with Gray. True, yes. Gray was probably my fallback if I had to, because of the fact that like she has coins and stuff freely available. So I would be able to like make kind of anything work in that regard. But yeah, I knew this one was going to be the bad one. I was talking with Chad about it like months ago, and I was just like, I'm going to try, but I know like there's going to be issues, which even the writer one, I also had some issues with that, but I very like right before the writer one came out, I finally finished Made Alter, so it made it easier. The CQ of it and farming nodes are actually quite annoying. The farming nodes, I feel like, are fine now that I understand what's going on. And part of that is just one, who I've chosen, and two, like, my current circumstances of like who I chose. So it's like if I had picked someone like let's say I picked Kama, because my Kama on my JP account's actually level 100, so she is an option. Kama would have been a way but what the hell is that password? Kama would have been a way better choice for clearing the fight. But MHX is who I wanted to pick, so I just picked it. Because so far, I have been able to pick whoever I want and still make it work. Hey, General, thank you for the resub, buddy. Appreciate it. Thank you for the support all these years. Check, can we get some love for General? And how have you been, bud? CQ is a bit trickier. I'll be honest, the challenge fights I've not been the biggest fan of because a lot of the challenge fights feel really like, at least on the latter half, I feel like the first couple were fine. But like pretty much since the Lancer one, I have felt like a lot of the challenge fights are kind of prohibitive due to like who you picked. And I get it's like, oh, it's a one-off fight, but it really is like some of the tougher challenges they've put out there where you have to actually like come up with a good proper strategy for it, and it's still not guaranteed to succeed. It's mostly about trying not to get death procced on there, which, if done right, can be avoided. Yeah, that's. I figured it would be more like insane death prockiness, which there's ways around it. I think most of the problem with these challenges are not that there isn't a solution to the problem, it's that you're restricted to the class. So if you don't have robust units in the class that you've already acquired, if you haven't worked on their levels, and if you don't have, say, for instance, the right ones at that, it's entirely possible that you can't do it. And that sucks. I feel bad for people that are trying to like complete the score. We have to choose again. All right, chat. What are we dealing with here? So this is Grailfront 4. Daytime is night metal, sun scales. It's really just the sun scales that I care about there. And the night is the new, yeah. Sun scales are nice, but I think we're going with that. You're further ahead than me? I mean, it's just because I'm doing it while it's relevant, right? Sorry, chat. I know, conversations on the side. Not wrong, but I've also been slacking. I mean, I could say I've been slacking, but it is legitimately just my life being busy. So that has been my issue, and I have needed to do a better job with it. But admittedly, also too, chat, just so you guys are aware, on the side, while FGO is having all this stuff happen, we also literally just got done with our last deadline for the year. Like, that was this week. The 15th was the deadline. So, and then literally yesterday, my computer at work, I didn't get to tell you guys this because I haven't been live with you guys in a hot second, but my computer at work blue screened completely. It is bricked. So they had to like get me a new computer. So I didn't even have a computer until like 2 that afternoon. Then I had to like waste all the time to set it up. And from there, then today, apparently there's been a little bit of a, how do I put this? A tech plague in the office where like we're having like numerous software issues with like Microsoft Office and other stuff. So like it was happening to me, it was happening to other people, and like it was basically making it so like we couldn't even do any work here post deadline. So we were at the point where it's like, oh, we just have to like go around fixing everybody's computers. So that's what we did all today. So like the deadline has happened, but I haven't had a computer. I haven't been able to sit in my chair. Like, So I just like in that regard, I haven't been able to even like because a lot of the time at work, I can like do a return, like sit there kind of like doing my job and still have like FGO kind of going on the side because it's not really that distracting. But if I'm not like sitting down and I'm constantly like running around doing stuff, I can't even do that. So it's just been difficult for me to like keep up. How's the government shutdown affecting you, Cad? As far as I can tell, not really at all. I think the only thing is, so I'm also in charge of pulling account transcripts in the office, which means I have to go to the IRS and like deal with them and get like info on clients and stuff if we don't have info from them. And unfortunately, for better or worse, on like the day before and the day of the deadline, you have some clients that are like not going to get you their shit, and you're trying to like protect them. So you're trying to get a transcript pulled for them. The IRS's transcript portal went down for several hours on the day of the deadline, which was not good. But that's like not abnormal, is what I would say. At least not it going down. So in that regard, and that's just because it's so busy and everybody else is doing the same thing that we're doing. But I wonder if like part of the reason it took it so long to catch up is just because of like the furloughs and stuff like that. So that I couldn't tell you. But again, as far as I can tell, it has not impacted my job at all. Did Windows 11 give a cool blue update? Yeah, it felt like it. Okay. The data burb, yes. And sorry, Chad, I know I'm getting distracted. I know I'm like taking forever to get through this stuff. Forgive me. I will just go ahead and admit I am talking to her on the side. That is part of my distraction here. Not that anything's bad. Just it's a current ongoing conversation. Tell her chat says hi. Not a chance. More intensity of issues due to the shutdowns this week because many agencies actually had a month of budget left. Yeah, and that's fine. I mean, again, I'm not gonna get into that because that's a deeply political thing. But it is what it is. Oh damn. I tried. Take your time. Yeah, it's all good. I'm trying to focus on stream, right? Just you guys know. The government shut down and all the hot girls in my area stopped DMing me at the same time. Are you implying that it was all just a bunch of FBI agents? Would you be surprised by that, cat? Sorry, surprised by what? Like all the hot girls being FBI agents? Maybe a little. Mostly because the FBI does not pay well. At least not in that sense, right? If you're a hot woman at that point, you'd probably make way more money being an actual Instagram model or like escort or something like that rather than pretending and being an FBI agent secretly. But I don't. As funny as that is to me, Mom, no, I don't think there's any actual connection there. Girl, guy in real life, yeah. As my cousin's boss tells him, politicians are petty morons, so we have to account for their petty moronic infighting. Yeah, pretty much. I like in that regard, politics definitely affects my job because politics, if nothing else, impacts like tax legislation and everything that kind of goes into that. Even with stuff like that's not technically tax legislation. So like if you were to go all the way back to like Obamacare and stuff, that had tax implications and still is something that is checked on your tax return if you have it. So it's like, in a weird way, yeah, politicians just ultimately are what actually impact my job, and it sucks and I hate it, but it is what it is. It's just like you have to be adaptable in this job. Big Dargan. It's actually kind of a long cutscene. And now the song feels like it fits. I'm waiting for the day Saber and Archer crossover in Fortnite. I'll be real with you. I'm actually surprised it hasn't already happened. Like, they've gotten quite a few, like, major anime IPs. I'm surprised that they haven't, like, reached out to Type Moon. And to be fair, chat, they very well might have. And you just might not know. Like, maybe Nasu said, no, fuck that. I don't want my shit in Fortnite. Like, so it is what it is. Okay, give me the Battle of Destiny. Mini ticks? Huh? Oh, I got you. You're breaking that down. Oh, spicy one. Wait, can I not? Can I not actually? Why is there no like interface to like go back up and see what was just said? It's so weird that they don't allow that here because it tells me that they're using like a different thing for it. Same thing happened to me. That's all good. I realized that so they definitely made some changes to Grailfronts to make this possible, but it means that there's like a different architecture behind it, and they didn't just take their existing one and overlay it. Which there may be reasons for that. I couldn't tell you why. Yeah, we definitely have more points here. And from looking at that, we have both an archer and a lancer. Technically, yeah, you have the same amount of archers and lancers. So who you choose here between a saber or a archer does not matter. There will still be problems. No matter how you want to go about it. Honestly, though, I think we can kind of clean sweep with something like this. I'm a huge proponent of taking Castoria into these things because she actually just does clean them up. And it is always hilarious when it happens. the Shielder class card. I like now you could actually get a like Shielder in the game. Before it was not really possible, and people were like, "Oh, CAD, do you think it'll ever be a thing?" And I'm like, I mean, it could be, but they'd have to do some stuff, and it's literally a why would you? Now I think they could, but there's still the question of like, why would you, right? But it is an interesting thing to think about, and you know, I've said stuff won't happen that did happen before, so it's not like unheard of. Wait, hold on. That is an enemy coin sky. Okay, never mind. I need to be a little bit more cautious about how I do this. Let's go ahead and send Castoria in against Koyen Chihuahua. Only added to fix a missing card back for the grand stuff, etc. Yeah, and that I agree with that. I do think that was what was going on. So I think a lot of people are going to get their hopes up, and it's probably not actually a thing. But we'll see. You never know. Okay. That is a take the free charge. I do miss my zero cost eggplant after the upgrade. I mean, you can still use her at zero cost. You just have to switch her back. What happened when they put the Incredibles and Darth Vader into Fortnite? I can see why Nasu is telling them where to shove it. I mean, yeah, I mean, obviously we don't know if that's the case, right? But like, yeah, I could see it too. I don't think Fortnite has necessarily handled all of their IPs the best, but I think there's a lot of upside to it. Like Fortnite gives a lot of exposure to a younger generation that is good for any IP. Okay, we're just gonna do that. I know that's gonna be our problem child right there, so we're just gonna let Ptolemy kind of fire off that NP and do his job here. Galahad's a really intriguing possibility. Obviously people would want him. I do think he makes a whole lot of sense, but there's also some factors that would go against him being a unit ever. So it really just depends on like what the devs want to do and whether or not they feel like the community would want it too, I'm sure, because that would I guarantee be a factor in if they would do it. I still want my Fate MOBA. Yeah, in a weird way, I feel like a Fate MOBA would actually be like one of the best ideas for this IP. Same thing with like an actual battle royale. Like the IP is low key based off of the concepts that make those genres up, and it's kind of funny that it's just not a thing that they've actually like pulled the trigger on ever. That's why, like, to me, a little bit, I don't mind Muso games per se, but it does feel like they have kind of screwed themselves in just constantly only pursuing Muso games. But it could also be a case of maybe they can't get other studios to like work on it and stuff, or maybe they're just not available, or maybe they just think it's like not gonna be a good idea. I don't know. Wait, he's alive, yes. Do you want that new generation all using the cursed name, Cad? No, but it is what it is. Servant Hunter Wilds, yeah. The player population wouldn't keep up for long and would end of life quick. For what? Like you're saying for like a battle royale or something? I think the real problem with anything like that is purely the fact that like if you make a good Fate game, people will play it because it's good, and it will grow beyond the Fate IP and get more people into the Fate IP. Fate Grand Order is an example of that. Okay. So I think the problems that we have, like let's take Samurai Remnant. Is Samurai Remnant a bad game? No, but Samurai Remnant's also not particularly a like very good game. Like it's not like, oh my god, this is something that like no one's ever done before. Like this is state of the art. This is really great graphics or something like that. It's like, and the gameplay, when you look at it, it's like the gameplay, well, the combat is nice. The rest of the game is relatively rudimentary. So because of that, I don't think it grew the Fate IP really at all, and I don't think it really performed all that well. So it's not a bad game, but it's not good enough to bring more people in. Okay. If you compare that to like FGO absolutely probably I would argue FGO probably like quadrupled at minimum the amount of Fate interested people in the world. Okay. It's not necessarily fair because it's one of the biggest live service games ever in that regard, but it is something to make note of that when you have a game, the success of the game is not entirely dictated by the IP that it's based off of. I'll give you guys an example. If you had told me Digimon was going to be better and more popular than Pokemon like a year ago, I would have laughed. And then Pokemon continues to shit the bed with their games. And Digimon actually produced a banger. And it's made people change their minds on Digimon. It's that simple. It's make something good. Make a good product, people will show up for it. And I really do mean that. So it's like they can make a battle royale, and if it's a good battle royale, people would play it. They can make a MOBA, and if it's a good MOBA, people will play it. But if it's just passable, only the Fate fans will play it, and then yeah, you're right. It might just end of service, right? Okay. What League is doing is a good example right now. Actually, I'm not like super, like, again, I have friends that have been playing League and stuff recently. I've been at least loosely paying attention, but I'm not like super paying attention to like the macro state and like what they've been doing over the past couple months. You guys would have to tell me. Type Moon becoming too much mainstream could make the writing losing what makes it good. Yeah. I think it's telling that the follow-up to Carnival Phantasm, which satirized the two biggest Nasuverse IPs, was Fate Grand Carnival, right? League's $500 skins and refusing to fix problems that are seasons old is really killing it for me. Understandable. And I do agree. I feel like the skins being priced at that amount are just actually like stupid and unfathomable. And I'm sure that there are people out there that pay it, but like, no. I'm sorry. Just no. It's not actually worth that, no matter how much they think it is. Nor did that much work go into it. And it's kind of weird because I guarantee you if they lowered the price by like 90%, they would sell infinitely more copies of it. The Christmas map is coming back for League. No, interesting. The fighter they're making. Oh, 2x KO or something like that. Yeah. Which is, it's a good thing. But I agree. I think it's like, when you have a popular IP, it's actually a good idea to like shop it around. Sorry, chat again. That fighter will end up in a microtransaction hellscape. Yeah, I would be worried about that. Though to be fair, welcome to fighting games. That's like you look at how like Street Fighter and I don't know about Mortal Kombat, but what's the other one? I think Tekken is also very similar, where they have like battle passes or character passes functionally. A $50 skin is not even a rarity anymore. Like what? Right. And I think like even at $50, I think it's absurd. I think like League would make far more money by selling skins for like $5 and $10 and $15 than like $40 and $50. Because I think they'd get way more interaction with the skins at those prices. But I guess they have done the analysis and they know, and we are the fools. So. Grand Blue would be a better example, actually. Yeah, that's another one. Again, I'm not like super big on fighting games, so I have not like played them super extensively. Street Fighter's the one I'm most familiar with, and even then, I cannot say that I am actually like tangibly. You know what? Let's pre-card. I cannot say that I'm actually like tangibly. Authoritative on it. I was trying to think of a good word there, but I don't think Mortal Kombat does, but I don't really play fighting games. Okay, yeah. Like I said, Mortal Kombat I'm not super aware of. I know Mortal Kombat added like characters, but I don't know how they added the characters. Because I know like they have like Omni-Man and shit, but good old Fate Unlimited Codes. Yeah. I mean, at least Unlimited Codes was not like the same thing that they've always done, right? That's what I'm saying. It's like Muso games aren't bad. My only issue with the Fate IP is that besides like FGO and the visual novels, it has been pretty much Muso games. Like you have to go all the way back to like the PSP and stuff for different things. And they really do need to branch out a little bit more. And I've been saying this for a while, but again, it is unfathomable to me that both Miyazaki and Nasu work underneath Sony. Both are huge fans of each other and each other's games, and they have never collaborated. And I'm like, make a Dark Souls that is Fate. It would go so hard. Same thing. Apparently, the Persona guys are also big Fate fans. So it's like you look at that and you're like, metaphor? make an actual like turn-based Fate RPG. Oh my god. Like, there are plenty of opportunities out there for them to expand the IP's horizons. And I feel like it'd be good for every party involved, but it doesn't feel like there is either the desire or the capability to do so. And I don't know if that is reservations due to the performance of the IP down the stretch, or if that is like Nasu is unwilling because like Nasu doesn't have the time and he can't take on more projects. Yeah, Cat, they don't want money. I mean, to a degree, if you were Nasu, you're probably already a millionaire from this game. At minimum, right? And in that regard, like, you can do what you want and you don't have to care. And it really doesn't matter. So I think that sort of thing is very much in the eye of the beholder. This is a 120, but I'm not sure that kills otherwise, so we'll just end it. Fate Extra Records save us. Yeah, honestly, I'm hoping Fate Extra Records a very good like turn-based RPG in that regard. It definitely needs to get its ass in gear, but it is a thing. Hoodoo. How do I want to handle this? There's no other sabers here. In fact, we have 2 lancers, so Ptolemy's kind of dead in the water. We're going to send Ptolemy down that way. Send Kesteri up that way. Send her over there, because again, I'm just trying to like get all the boxes, but at the same time not screw over the archers. And again, technically that's a risky move that I did right there, because I opened myself up to if the AI behaved abnormally and came after me, the AI could suicide into me on this turn. And there wouldn't be anything I could do about it. So we're going to go for Nezha, both because she's more powerful and because she's actually, like, more killable. So we finish her off there, and that leaves just the Shadow Knight. Which actually got a crit in, which is kind of annoying, but it is what it is. Yeah, money is not the priority. But I just, like, again, even regardless of the money side of things, I feel like it'd be really cool. And I would love to, before my life is over, see, like, those collaborations, right? Doesn't really matter. We'll just advance her forward. I don't think I have to get the master over there. Usually it's just kill them all at this point, unless there's a stated like thing where it's like, oh, you have to actually move in. If you don't have it, money as a priority. Yeah, I think so to a degree, right? I think that sort of thing makes sense, but when you don't need the money, then it frees you up and you can make actual artistic and creative choices that you want to do. So it's fine. I don't see there being an issue with that. Having a Fate game in the Miyazaki art style would be wild. Agreed, but that's not the Miyazaki I'm referring to. I'm referring to Miyazaki, who heads up whatchamacallit, From Software. Though it is funny because I have brought that up to the girlfriend before. Let's get that with Ptolemy before we do anything else. Now we have all of our rewards. Now we can go full tilt. And I should get at least 2 cracks here. Wait, is that gonna... Yes, party effect. Okay. I'm not even going to need the NP. Labubu collab? Please no. Has there been a Labubu Fortnite collab yet, chat? To be fair, if I would want DMC gameplay, I would play that or Bayonetta. Yeah. I think, like, I mean, it's an interesting idea. I don't think it's, like, awful to have a proper Fate action game. And in that regard, like, at least Samurai Remnant is not a pure Muso, but it definitely plays like it. Fate Animal Crossing. I don't think it'd be like an awful idea to have a like chill Fate game. Right? Like just in general. I think you could make a I think you can make the Fate IP into almost anything, but it really just depends. ELP is a band? I apparently it is. That's why I didn't like Final Fantasy 16. It was just DMC. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Final Fantasy 16 is a good game. It is just a poor like Final Fantasy game. But it's like if you go into it as like it's just some like Devil May Cry like medieval fantasy game, it's great. I think my only issue with it would be that it doesn't really feel like it has replayability. And I think that is a design flaw. But that's also just due to them trying to like tone down the Devil May Cry aspects and make it more approachable. So that's on them. I think they should have probably like added more features to it. But it is what it is. There's also the idea that, hey, you got to get the game out and you maybe don't have time for everything. Fate base management game where you're the director of something like Chaldea, that could actually be cool. But I'm somebody that likes like strategy and management style games and like simulators. So I could totally understand if that's not everyone's cup of tea. But I could at least see that like in its own like canned thing being kind of fun. Watch for reinforcements on the next one. Okay. Wait, is the next one even out? Isn't Chaldea already crazy enough as to use that for another game itself? I mean, you could. I like, in a weird way, I feel like Chaldea is a really good like base for the game. And when I mean base, I don't mean like a physical like building. I mean base is in like basis. Okay. And in that regard, like, you know, I've come up with numerous things for like how they could progress the story into a part 3 that would like change things up and make things different. But a little bit, I think what they need to change is the subject matter, not the basis of the game. Like us being time hopping, you know, alternate timeline traveling, like protectors of the planet is a good basis, and they should keep going with that. They just need to maybe dip more into the again, like, I don't know, maybe the Cthulhu like aspects or other things like the various factions within the Magecraft world. Because the Metacritic score was better? No, not at all, dude. There's definitely a lot of Pokemon bias, but I can tell you as somebody that cares about neither of those IPs that Digimon is just absolutely the better game, hands down, and anyone arguing otherwise is probably just biased as shit. At the end of the day, I think like the other issue that you have is that a lot of Pokemon fans are just, they're kind of conditioned at this point, and no matter what comes out of Pokemon, they will like it. Like Pokemon could release a steaming pile of shit, call it like, I don't know, Pokemon Poo and Pee, and people would buy it. That's kind of a like, forgive me if I just don't pay attention to what people are saying in that regard. Like, and unfortunately, it's like you can't really trust somebody that's like, oh, I'm a devoted Pokemon fan. I buy every game. It's like you can't trust someone like that's opinion. In the same way that you can't trust me if, like, I'm sitting here talking about why you should play a Fate game. Like, you know I'm biased. So naturally that bias is going to come in. I am predisposed to like Fate. Now, I believe that I'm someone that's objective and I can remove that bias, but that still comes down to whether or not you trust me, right? Speaking of which, I need to actually do my, there you go, my Mystic code here. I did not look at all about the units in this one. This is the one that has reinforcements, I remember. But I should be fine. I also think Pokemon on the other end is overhated. I don't think people actually, I don't think it's actually overhated. I think it's criticized. Because I think where a lot of the criticism comes from is that people really want Pokemon to just do better. They're tired of getting milked, right? So I don't think it's necessarily hate, at least not in that regard. I think it is hey, people want this IP to progress and to do more than it has been. Not that there aren't people out there that hate it. I'm sure there are. But I think that's where like a lot of the discourse of late is on Pokemon game. Okay, we'll have her grab that. And then that. And I think that's where I would like to sit. And we're just going to turtle. Hate is rampant across platforms. Yeah, to a degree. Let's cleanse that. I mean, I can pop this, but I don't think she's actually going to kill. So we'll send it, and we'll see if she can take down the Shadow Knight, but probably not. Not without a lucky crit. Okay. It was closer than I thought it would be. This one took me a little longer to clear. Yeah, some of them will. It's real time when you're in complete control. Some of the bosses are actually tough. I mean, hey, it is what it is. I'll at least give them credit for trying to do something different. But okay, we'll just go ahead and send Maid Altar after that. Because again, I'm just going to keep getting like flooded here for a little bit. This is not the best use of this, but just go ahead and send it. Get as much damage as I can and charge and stars. Not to say it doesn't deserve critique, but people shouldn't bash others who play it. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna hold it against somebody if they did play it. It's more the observation that people will play anything that Pokemon puts out. And that is my stance on that. Is that there has to be a break point for every single person where they'll say, you know what, enough is enough. I'm not going to play this. And with Pokemon, it feels unusually high, almost cult-like. But beyond that, if someone's a Pokemon fan and they want to play the new Pokemon game, who am I to tell them not to? Medusa Saber is carrying me through this Grailfront. She carries hard. Medusa Saber is just strong in that regard because she can just sit there and stun and loop over people. Sonic Cult Light. You know, I don't know if that's the case, but only because I'm not like super familiar with like the Sonic fandom in that regard. So I do know there's some people that are really like all in on Sonic, but I don't know if like it's the same degree of like, oh, they'll buy like any Sonic product. That I couldn't tell you, but mostly because like I haven't had an avid interest in Sonic games over the years, so it's not like something I've really paid attention to. In that regard, though, too, I can also say that I haven't really had an avid interest in Pokemon games over the years, but a lot of that is like Pokemon, I guess, is just a much bigger IP and almost more inescapable on like social media and games discourse in general. This is my time to show up for Sonic. Oh my god, I missed hardest here going in. There is a section that is super critical. Yeah. And I feel like with any major fandom, that's probably the case. And that section is very pessimistic. It is very bipolar. That is why the franchise has its rep. Yeah, I mean, it's like I can easily understand that because it's a similar situation to like how Star Wars is now. You have a very bipolar fan base because one half, well, I say half, I don't think it's actually half, but I think like, you know, let's be generous and let's say it's like 3/4 of people don't like the new movies, think they're bad, and want Disney to completely reverse their stance, disavow them, and go back to the original like expanded universe that had been written pre-Disney. And then there's like 1/4 of people that are like, hey, these movies are actually the best. And there's no winning because of that. And I'm oversimplifying it. There's definitely like people in the middle that are like, hey, you know, I like these Disney shows, but I don't like the movies. And there's also people like, yeah, but like there were some problems with the old EU, and it's a good thing that Disney's changing it. So it's like there's people that are in the middle on that, but those are your two extremes, and they dominate the conversation at all times. And unfortunately, I can only really blame Disney for that because Disney kind of did an irreversible thing by saying, oh, we're just gonna throw out the old EU. But in that regard, like I said, I understand, hey, what it means to have a bipolar fan base. Kind of have three Pokemon fans: the loyalists who buy everything, the haters who basically criticize everything about Pokemon, still buy the game, and then proceed to call it shit. Yeah, I'm gonna say this: if you're gonna criticize something that bad, don't fucking like get it, right? Like don't sit there and be like, oh my god, it's so awful, but I'm still gonna go out and get it. Like, that just means you're a hypocrite and you're full of shit. People who treat it like a thing they do with friends. Me and my friends are playing it on game chat and having a blast. Yeah, I mean, I'd say there's probably more than like those three types, but yes. It's like, at the end of the day, I mean, there's me, like, my entire dabbling with Pokemon has been entirely like casual and like just as an adult. But even I do see the criticism that people have with it, that like a lot of like Game Freak's games are just samey, and it feels like they're not doing a whole lot with it, which, to be fair, it makes sense. They are given like a year to spit out a game. And I'm sure there's like multiple teams working and they're like alternating there behind the scenes. But it's like, oh yeah, this is a thing. This is what's going on, and this is why. We're actually just gonna go ahead and do that. And they definitely don't have a whole lot of budget. I don't know why, other than, you know, if you want to go the completely like nihilistic approach to this, it would be that Pokemon does not give a shit about its fans. It is just milking you, and that they simply do not wish to spend a cent more than they need to produce said game, because they already know that you're going to buy it anyways. I don't think it's necessarily that, but I'm sure there is a lot of greed there regardless, and that Pokemon, with how popular and big the IP is, that those games do deserve far more funding at minimum. Even if you wanted to like say, okay, the like Call of Duty or Assassin's Creed style of approach of just alternating games, like, so that you can pump out one each year, even if you could say like that's fine, at bare minimum these games should be getting way more money invested into them. That's at least my stance. Game Freak actually keeps themselves on the smaller side because they want smaller teams, because it creates better interaction. There is some truth to that. I don't buy it in Game Freak's case. But I at least understand that I think it's the second I move the master, this is going to happen. I'm going to move right there. Should not have moved Laratoria up, but it is what it is. Sounds like an excuse for when corporate won't give them a bigger budget to hire people. Yeah, I mean, like, they're not wrong, because I think, like, if I were to go back and I were to look at Starfield, okay? Starfield is made by Bethesda. Bethesda has a studio of now 400 plus people. It is absolutely gigantic. It is ballooned from their days of like, what was it? I think like 60 or 70 people working on like Oblivion. Okay. And a lot of that's because of the success of Skyrim. Like, Skyrim just absolutely made them do amazing. But Bethesda has multiple studios. They're all over the US. Todd Howard has to jet set around to be at each one of them now. And he is, by all accounts, the creative vision for the studio. So he is getting strung out, jumping all around, doing all this stuff. And there are decisions that have to get made, which is apparently one of the issues with Starfield, is that like some decisions had to get made regardless of him like being the person that needed to make them, because he was not there because he was off at another studio at the time. So I think when you get to this size, yes, it's like the upper end of what your studio is capable of is amazing, but also the left hand doesn't know what the right hand is doing. So like Game Freak saying that, they're not incorrect, but there is such a thing as also being like too small for an IP of that size. And you just not actually doing your due diligence is what I would say. But yeah, I do think like having such a large studio caused a problem for Starfield. My hope is that they figure that out, and that as they move towards Elder Scrolls 6, that is something that they've learned from and they can do a lot better with. But who knows, right? Like that's kind of all we can hope for at this point. Gens 3 to 5 of Pokemon were peak. You missed the golden age of Pokemon. Yeah, I mean, I at least played Diamond and Pearl remake, which I liked. I thought it was fun. I honestly, I didn't really care for Scarlet and Violet. I thought that was kind of boring to me. And then I also heard all about like the whole like thing where they had the original director of those original Pokemon games and they kind of just canned them because reasons. It's like you look back on stuff like that, and I'm like, yeah, I mean that definitely could be one of the issues. That could be why the Pokemon games maybe are feeling a little bit stale, as they need actual creative vision and they're maybe not getting it. You know what? I'm just gonna get rid of the saber here. They also leaked the future for the games, and it was very promising. Yeah, and I don't know like how much of like those leaks and stuff are actually true, right? Because it's also like, if you think about it this way, chat, ask, in order to understand if a leak is true, ask yourself what there is to gain from leaking it. If there is tangible benefit to gain from leaking it, you need to take it with a grain of salt. It doesn't mean it's not true. It's just one of those things where you could say, okay, but someone could just be exploiting this for like clout farming. And that could be why. So in this case, it's like, oh, it sounds really good because the nature of things that gamers are really tired of seeing some of that stuff in games. So it's a really easy like rage bait. Okay. So in that regard, you just have to be very, very careful. And yes, it could end up being that those leaks are entirely true. It could also end up being that like they're partially true. Because I believe there were like source files and stuff that were also like leaked out of there. But maybe some of the like upcoming game concepts are just not even ever going to come to fruition or something, right? So it's like really just depends. That line in the song is still great. Okay, let's see if we can bait anything else out here. There it is. Like I said, I think it's when your master moves a certain distance. But it's kind of funny because nobody ever actually like spends very much time protecting the master in these. And part of the reason you actually need to is because of this crap. It's like they rarely ever are going to pull something like this, but when they do, it's kind of rough. You transfer once you got to post game. Yeah. Nothing till Shield and I got Scarlet, and I think I have Pearl on my old DS emulator. Nice. Yeah, I will say I don't really care for the whole like, hey, let's add all of the non-new gen Pokemon to the game only after the post game. But I guess like I kind of get it. I more like feel like the game would be more fun if I just had them all available from the get-go. But I think it's like they want to emphasize the new Pokemon and like, oh my god, you need to play with the new Pokemon. So in that regard, I guess I understand. Incredible. The roster is getting too big. Yeah. And that may be part of the reluctance to upgrade the game is like if they upgrade the engine, if they switch to something new, maybe they have to like redo all the models and it's just not worth it and they just go like, nope, I'm not doing that. We don't have the time or the care type deal. I mean, we know they don't have the funding, but that is 100% on them. I am very poorly matched right now. That's how we're gonna do that. Born and raised in South Detroit. What are we at? Over 1,000 now? Yeah. And I think it's like it's a controversial thing because it's like, what do you do? Do you just say like, okay, there's only gonna be like half in this? Oh no, I can think of how I'd do it. Yeah, you don't want me to say it out loud. It will just give Game Freak ideas. Searching in the night. They did it with the DLC? No. No, they didn't. They didn't think about what I'm thinking about. Then start another Pokemon war and half the total. Also, did I just see that actually hit Kain Sky of Dark? She got hit by the stun, but then it didn't do anything. Just gonna abuse this for stars. start another Pokemon War in half the total. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because it's the same thing that like every long running IP kind of runs into is the more you try to market it, the more it like becomes cumbersome and unwieldy. Gonna leave her there so that she can grab that last chest on the next turn, assuming the Berserker does not come over there. Do I need 30 to attack? Yes. Gonna move her there. Yeah, tropes. How many wars does the Pokemon world have by this point? In a weird way, I would love to see like a dark, gritty Pokemon game, but I also understand why they just like don't ever want to do that. Okay, I have popped everything. Okay, that actually did kill, which is good. Unfortunately, I would have preferred if it didn't. At least, like, if it had gotten close, so that I could have gotten cards off the backside of that. Because MHX is a little bit roughed up here. Okay. This is just get charge. Unfortunately, I'm just going to end up using that quick up, but... Oh! Oh, that's a good crit! Oh ho ho! Thank you, Mate Alter. I did not think I was going to take his bar on that round. So he pays for that attack. Again, it was the crit buff that she's standing on, but amazing. Okay, give me the healing. Nezha's not a good matchup here. We're just going to go ahead and fire off the Castoria Noble Phantasm and use it to attempt to loop. Nezha is attacking into me, though, so this just buys me time. The darkest Pokemon has ever gotten was Black and White and Black and White 2. Interesting. They make it lighter and they revise it like the original. Supposed to be prehistoric times and the story was kind of brutal. I mean, again, it is supposed to be like for kids. But I think like Star Wars has kind of shown it with like something where it's like, oh, Star Wars is for kids, right? Well, then why is the most successful Disney show for Star Wars Andor, which is made for adults? Like, if anything, that should show you that there is a market there if they play their cards right. But I get it. It's like, it doesn't mean you stop making stuff for kids. It's just you make stuff for both if you can do it. What's up, Deus? How are you doing today? Ah, damn it. They ganged up on her. And that's what I was trying to do, was run from the assassin, but that didn't really work. I don't know what Nezha's doing, though. Hey, Nezha, come here. You're not getting away either way. Boop, boop. Shouldn't do it there, but I'm gonna do it. Uh-oh, and a maritime more. Star Wars is for kids, the cop-out answer for when people have nothing else. No, Star Wars is for kids is something that George Lucas would tell you. I do think like that was originally the design of it, in his mind at least. Not that like it's not something that can be consumed by an adult, right? But in the regard that like, oh, it still needs to be something that like kids can approach and get into. And he's not wrong. I mean, again, like Star Wars' most profitable thing isn't the movies, it's the merchandising. So that should tell you a whole lot, right? But at the same time, it does make sense for maybe the why of what they're doing there. I'm gonna blow you the hell up. No, I shouldn't do that. Unfortunately, that's the problem with Maid Ultra. It's like pre-carding with her quick cards, not a good play, because you just screw your NP. Ugh. You mean it was the merch, because that's not selling at all. Yeah, merch sales are off a cliff for Star Wars, which is not good. And that does show that, like, because I've seen people say, like, oh, the sequels are going to come around to where the prequels were, where they're eventually going to be loved. And I'm like, no, they're not. Every sign points to that not being the case this time around, which sucks. Like, in the sense that you would hope that there would be greater understanding of it eventually. But at the end of the day, it's because the sequels were not really made with the same attention and love that the original ones were, and the prequels even. Gonna move right there. We're gonna leave things just the way they are. There's a lot of like maneuvering you just need to do for this one because of the backwards reinforcements. You can see, look at the targeting going on there. So she just saw the opening and went straight for it. Because if you remember, she ran away and now she came right back. So baited. She doesn't attack anything, but she also doesn't get anything. Do that. Is this the last Grailfront? For this event? No. In general terms, like, will there be another Grailfront event after this? We don't know. There hasn't been one yet. But no, this is not the last Grailfront. Yeah, Nezha's gotta die here. There's so many buffs on right now, it's kind of ridiculous. Gonna go for the broken chain. Nice crit. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Yes. There we go. Somehow Palpatine returned. And to be fair, like I said, Palpatine returned in the EU. But Palpatine's return to the EU was way better handled. It was still kind of jarring, but I always thought it was a lot cooler the way they did it. And it's how I would return if I were like in his shoes and capable of doing those things. Rather than like, hey, let me come back, but I come back as an old decrepit man. Like Palpatine in the EU comes back as in a clone of himself that is like him in his prime in his like mid-20s. So he's just like, it's basically like Anakin Skywalker, but instead it's as Palpatine with all of the knowledge of and capability of old Palpatine. So it's like an actual threat. Don't exchange. See if I can get him, but I doubt I can. This is probably just gonna kill Sugatani here. After the flop, somehow Vader return? Yeah, please no. Gonna go after Fehu because he's the more killable one here. And realistically, this was a bad attack that I shouldn't have done. Come on this Grailfront, I'll take you all on. Oh yeah. I mean, there's plenty of units that work really good for this. Like, I'm just running in with the saber faces. I don't know if Chad has noticed that. I'm only using saber faces in the units that are given. Some of the saber faces are not great for this. Like Maid Altar and MHX are not great for a Grailfront. But I'm still just making it work. That's kind of the when you have like NP5 120 of a character, it does just kind of overpower some of these. Okay, that's bad. She gonna get attacked. Hold on, Jet. Kama ripped up all those guys hard. Oh yeah. Like I said, there are certain units that are just really, really strong. Units that have like charge on a low cooldown. Units that have survivability skills. They are usually just very, very, very powerful in these circumstances. And I'll send it along with love from me to you. Yeah, we just end it here and let enemy have their turn, which of course he moves and attacks Sugitani. My hope is that he hits Ptolemy instead, but it's not. Yeah, I was gonna say it's not gonna happen. Well, at least Ptolemy will get a clap back here. Skill sealed, huh? Unfortunate for him, because I didn't need to use any of the skills. This is how you remind. You know what, chat? Nickelback songs were not that bad. They were just overplayed. With the exception of Photograph. Photograph is a terrible song. But dang, they going all in. Okay. Okay. You want it? You got it. I do both day and night Grailfronts. Yeah, and that's fine. You'll get more rewards. And I probably will with you guys too. I'm trying to get caught up more than anything. Every time there's a saber slot Umu. Umu's not the strongest in terms of damage output, but good luck killing an Umu. Mistaken. Wait. Was he the last one left? Did he just kill himself on me? I mean, I had all the things anyway, so it didn't matter, but I thought there was an... Okay, no, yeah, because there were two enemies there at the end, so I guess the Berserker came up. I was like, how did that happen? What's up, Ahado? How you doing today? Vargas is godly in Grailfronts. Oh yeah, she's really nice because again, she's just in general like a good like self-healer, and she just strips people. So like any ability that the enemy has, good luck. I actually like the glowing eyes for Asterios' mask. be fair, he was kind of stopping us. He even survived an attempt on his life from Medea the Witch. Cad, get out of there now. It's a 3-star. That is a fully grailed and fold Umu. Yeah, and I mean, that'll do a lot more than a normal Umu. But comparatively, like, against a fully grailed and fold, like, I don't know, like Salter or like, Muramasa or something like that, it's like, it's still not going to be as much. It's just, hey, that's what 120ing is for. It's allowing you to make your unit as strong as another unit of the rarity and punch way above their weight. As someone wrote in Discord, it'd be great to just null this because we got the map for Asterius' Labyrinth from him and Valentine's. Yeah. My God, I didn't realize how far behind I was. Then this is probably either an all or a bronze. Means now I will not be able to get somebody that's actually got a bronze equipped on their Castoria. Is it mixed? Okay. Mixed, I'll just take Jade while I have him. Nope, not event bonus. Nope, not Pilgrimage Festival. There we go. Now we got a chat. You just reached the end? Okay. Then chat, what I might do is instead of starting that next story chapter, because that might take a bit, we'll continue on here. But I will probably read that tomorrow in conjunction with whatever the new one is tomorrow. Not that I will be streaming tomorrow. Okay, I realize there's an issue there. I don't know why, in my brain it's Thursday and not Friday. Which I should absolutely be aware of. I think it's bronze only node. Secret Saturday stream? No. Pro forgot today was weekend day. Yep. It's just one of those things where I think a little bit the date getting canceled on Wednesday and then moving it to Thursday has like in my brain it's like made me think today is Thursday. It is what it is. It's Friday in California. It is. Yes, correct. Today is Friday in California. I know part of you wondered if I queued this song. No. No, this is part of my playlist. My song. And how do I know that? Because it's the censored version of it. I actually don't know why it's the censored version. I don't really care. But I looked at that and I was like, why is it the censored version? Because I don't think they actually say anything that bad. This is from chat. This is from back in like the 2000s where they're like, we have to censor like somebody saying shit and damn and like mentioning any reference to drugs and like, oh, did you just make a like sexual innuendo? Yeah, it's also censored. Did you just refer to someone as a hoe? Censored. Granting TOS, you're clear if it's just brief mentions. That's news to me, but I also think it's one of those things where it's like context matters, where it's like, okay, it's just a song that's playing in the background. Who the hell cares? As opposed to like me using said word in a like racist, derogatory way towards somebody in chat. Like, that is obviously going to be way, 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 way worse. I have a conundrum that I'm currently working through in my head. Hmm. Through the rabbit hole of another Twitch article. Oh yeah, because I mean, there's people that say it all the time. And obviously they can get away with it for obvious reasons. If you're singing along, you're clear. Just pronounce it right. No. No, that's no. 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 I don't trust Twitch. Okay? We talk about like Twitch's arbitrary enforcement of their rules all the time. That comes with them deciding just randomly not to enforce things. It also comes with them randomly saying like, "Hey, I know this is the way it's worded in our rules, but I'm going to like over apply it." That's the problem you run into with Twitch. You can't trust your channel to the whims of Twitch's moderation. Because I mean, again, it's been a thing here of late where like their moderation is yet again getting in trouble for like just complete and total utter bias on things. Which is never to be trusted. Yep. Yeah, it's sad. It shouldn't be that way, but it do be. I love when Twitch suggests that I collab with myself. Thanks, Twitch. Very cool. Cat ain't Hassan. No, but I mean that's where I guess like somebody said like free Kaya, who's this dog, in like one of the like prime live streams for I think it's like Thursday Night Football or something. It's like it was a partnered streamer and they got banned for it. Sorry, not banned, timed out. And it's like you sit there and you're like, what the person said wasn't even bad. So that's just somebody in like Twitch's moderation just being triggered. And the problem with that is highly unprofessional of them. And that means that they just are sitting there and enforcing the rules however the hell they want to. That's why it's like, again, yeah, you can't respect that. You can't trust that. They present themselves as a professional organization and they are not. Nice art, by the way. Thank you, Fox. Ah, yes, I forgot. This is the other one that I was going to send you. So if you want, type an exclamation point art and you will be able to get the link for it. And it's funny because I actually think it's supposed to just be Laratoria. It's just the way she was drawn for this particular artist made it look like it's like Barcast. But how you doing today, bud? We are winning. I am finally, according to chat, caught up. I just have to do whatever that last story chapter is. And then on JP, okay, so technically I need to run this more, but it shouldn't be too hard. I just have to find a very robust comma. I'm surprised how many of the like assassins are not actually finished. And thank you, Pachi, because yours is. Artoria Barcast Fusion, huh? I think Barcast is a lot taller than Artoria. Do that. Let's sub it. Do it like that. At least I'll get the buster up. Actually, I could have put that comma in the front slot. I didn't even think about that. Because that one actually does have the anti-death effect. After the story section, you get an archer node. That's fine. Like I said, I'll do it tomorrow. So admittedly, my tomorrow is very busy. Like I shouldn't complain. It's good that my life is getting busier because the way in which it's getting busier is a very healthy way. It's just like it's a lot. I'm trying to juggle too many things and I know it. But it is 100% not a bad thing. Pachi with the save again. Could try my Chiome as well if you see her. I think I used your Chiome on the very first node. But I have not like seen her since. At least I think. I don't know. I have just been kind of looking for commas. Because they make a whole lot of sense since they are just very like easy to get to full charge. So it's like even if the person doesn't have like their Bond C and stuff unlocked, I'm going to be able to get that comma to full charge. It's not going to be a problem. don't think the... Okay, that's what I thought I was going to say. I didn't think the drain had any sort of like defense down or any sort of effect like that. You can stun him with plug to skip the instant kill. That would definitely be faster, so that's something to take under advisement. Only problem is I lose a little bit of offense from that, but not a whole lot. Like when my MHX gets capable enough that I don't have to like plug her out, then I think that'd be a thing. Oh, right. Yeah, I didn't think about that. Granted, I'm not taking advantage of it currently anyways. Go see if I can finally at least unlock the instant death protection. Just enough. Okay, so now I have that. But I think to get the 30% up, I need this one, correct, chat? Okay, I'm going to send you guys over to Miss Ivy. I'm going to end things here since I got AP down on both servers. I am ending 2 minutes early. I'm sorry for that. But again, I will be back for you guys Sunday. Sunday will just be variety day for me. And then Monday will be more FGO. But yeah, I will be gone tomorrow pretty much the entire day. I will not get back until very, very late. I actually need to think about that for the dogs. Okay, I may need to ask for assistance in that regard, but it should be fine. You want the evade grand score 2. Wait, which one's that? I don't know. You can tell me later. Anyways. Thank you guys for being here. Sorry I have had to cancel earlier in the week, but again, hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys for all the support. Go give Miss Ivy my love. See you guys on the other side.